Hello, let's talk about your CEO mindset, shall we? You want to grow your business, you want to build that vision, build that dream, and that's amazing. I'm so excited for you. But we don't want to do that with burnout, roller coasters, bad work life balance. We want to do that sustainably. We want you to scale sustainably so that it feels good when you get there. There is no point building the business of your dreams if you're burnt out when you get there. So we need to get you thinking like a CEO, feeling in control of your business, feeling in control of every decision that you make, that every system, every automation, every hire that you make, whether you're outsourcing or bringing in employees, every decision you make is done with purpose, intention, with sustainability in mind, and that you scale in a way that feels good for you. So I'm going to share my screen now and share my scale model with you. All right. And we'll finish off with some questions that you can maybe, pin in your journal, pin on your wall, put on your whiteboard, just to keep you really, really focused on the scaling mindset of a CEO. Okay. So let me share my screen. Okay, so I totally know how you feel with this big vision, this big goal, because I have that too. I have a big goal too. You've probably already heard me talk about it. I really want to build a business that impacts 100,000 women. That is my goal. That is my mission. And I'm not going to stop until I get there, but I definitely want to do that sustainably. So have a think to yourself, what does sustainable growth look like for you? What does that mean for your lifestyle, for the way that you spend your time, for the way that you spend your evenings, your weekends, how you structure your week, your month, your quarter, the time that you get to spend with your friends and your family and your loved ones? What does it mean for your holidays? What does sustainable scaling really mean to you? Okay, no need to answer that right now, but just make a note of that question. What does sustainable scaling look like for you? Okay, so let's get into the detail of my scale model. First of all, before you can even begin to scale sustainably, you need to check in with your vision. You need to check in and make sure that that end destination, the point that you're heading for, is still where you thought it was. Sometimes as entrepreneurs, we're full of creativity, we're full of ideas, full of inspiration. And that means that sometimes our vision can slightly sway and move and go over the horizon, or maybe come a little bit further towards you. But ask yourself, is my vision still where I thought it was? What does that mean for you? What is your vision? Have you got it clearly defined? Is it on the wall somewhere? Is it somewhere visual? Do you journal about it? And why is that vision so important to you? So really get aligned with your vision before you create your plan to scale. Okay, that's step one. The next thing is I'm going to walk you through the steps of the scale model. So the next thing is to just think about each of these areas and how you can use these areas to build your business and scale it sustainably. Okay, so the first part of the scale model is the S for specialism. And that is you scaling as the go-to person in your niche. So that is all about you and your brand, your personal brand, as well as your business brand, and the way that you are seen in your industry, in your niche. So how can you position yourself as the expert? How can you position yourself as the go-to person? Is it that you need to design a framework, a methodology? Maybe you need to get that trademarked or registered in some way. Is it a book that you need to write? Is it a particular stage that you need to speak on? How can you be the absolute go-to person in your niche? Now, I'm not talking necessarily about world domination. You might not want world domination, and you don't have to want world domination. So maybe you don't want to write a book. Maybe you don't want to speak on a big stage. Is there something more local, more regional to you? Something that positions you as an expert in your niche. Okay, so have a think about you as that specialist. You don't have to use the word expert. I know a lot of people don't like the word guru. Find a word that makes you feel super comfortable. Specialism is one that works for me. Okay, so I'll share that word with you. The next part of the scale model is C for cash, and that is to always be aware of your cash flow. Okay, so as you grow and scale, you might want to bring in team members, you might want to outsource, you might need a video editor, you might want a copywriter. But one thing that you always need to make sure of when you are increasing your outgoings, your expenditure, is that you really do keep a close eye on your cash flow. And I think it's always good practice to make sure that you've got, 6 months worth of expenses in the bank as your float, so that if something was to happen, God forbid we had another COVID outbreak, that you have those expenses that you're going to need in the bank so that you don't hit that point of bad cash flow where you're not sure if you're going to be able to pay all the bills and invoices that you have. Because if you're going to grow and scale your business, you want to do it profitably. You need to stay in profit. Okay. So always have a close eye on your cash and your finances. The A is for automation. I'm going to encourage you at every step on your journey to review your systems, review your processes, and ask yourself the question, what can I now automate? What have we been able to master? What have we now been able to test and convert that we can now automate so that it happens more quickly, more effectively, more productively? And do you need a system to help you with that automation? It might be that you need to bring in an expert to help you with that, but automation is absolutely going to speed you up. The L of the scale model stands for leverage, and there's 3 parts to leverage. I'm going to invite you to leverage the 3 T's, and those T's are time, talent, and team. How can you leverage your time in a more effective way? How can you leverage your own talent and the talent of your team in the most effective way to scale up? And how can you build that team around you, build a roadmap in the future for people that you may need to bring into your team in the future? So leverage those 3 T's of time, talent, and team. The E stands for evergreen. And all evergreen is a service, a program, something that you take to market that is always enrolling. It's always there. It's a digital asset sat on the shelf, maybe. Maybe it's an online course for you. Maybe it's a membership. Maybe it's something else, but it's something that is always enrolling. You can always send the link out to prospective buyers. You can always talk about this item, this evergreen item that you have to offer to your audience. And what that's going to do is help you to create passive income streams. And the greater that you can create those passive income streams, the less you have to spend your time in live launching and live delivery. So you probably read and heard lots about passive income, and probably what you've heard and read makes it sound easy. And I'm going to, I want to be real with you. It's not as easy as it's made to sound, but it isn't difficult either. So if you want to build passive income and you want to go to market with an evergreen service, maybe that's something that I can help you with in the future, because you are going to need a more detailed funnel probably than the one you've already got. And that is my scale model. I hope you like the model. It's super easy to remember because it's scale, yeah? And you want to scale and the model's called scale. So how can you forget that? There's no way that you can forget that. So just a few questions I want to finish on for you. And you might need to watch this video back when you've got space and time, maybe a notepad and a cup of coffee. But I want to invite you to really think and reflect on these questions. Ask yourself daily, is what I'm working on going to help me get there? Is what I'm working on today going to help me reach my vision? Is it going to help me get to where I want to go? And of course, if the answer is yes, carry on. But if the answer is no, then you need to make a change to the way that you're spending your day, your week, your month, your quarter. Okay, so that's a really important question for you to continually reflect on. What more could you be doing to nail your messaging and your brand? Ask yourself that question regularly. Even though you feel like you're doing an amazing job of it, continue to ask yourself that question, because that's the up-leveling question. What more could I do? I'm not happy to settle at the level that I'm at. I want to go up a gear. I want to raise the bar. What more could you be doing to nail your messaging and your brand? Third question, how could I leverage the 3 T's in a better way? Constantly ask yourself that question. I find that's a great end of month question. When one month ends, I tend to reflect on how have I spent my time? How have I managed my team? Have I utilized my talents, their talents? Am I leveraging those things in the best way possible? It's a great question for the end of a month. Next question, which systems, processes, and automations can I utilize? What can I be doing to speed my growth up? What can I be doing to make my life easier? Make my team's life easier? Yeah. Next question. This is a big question. Who's in control? Am I in control, or is my business in control? For you to really master CEO mindset, the answer to that needs to always be you are in control. That you feel in control, you feel planned, you feel strategized, you feel aligned with your vision, you're constantly reflecting and learning, because every day in business is a school day. We know that. There is never going to be a day when your to-do list is all ticked off, ever. If you are really serious about scaling your business, there is never going to be a day when it's all done. It's going to be an ever lengthening list. There's always things to add to that list. So you need to always be reminding yourself, my business is not in control. My business is not dragging me along with it. I am planning and strategizing. I'm aligning with my vision. I am in control. I am the CEO. I'm thinking like a CEO, thinking like a leader, and I am going to take the business there. That's a big question. And that final question there, am I making the cash that I want to make? Doesn't mean you have to have aspirations to be a multimillionaire. Yeah, that's not what the question is. Am I making the cash that I want to make? So it doesn't matter how much that amount is, it doesn't matter what that looks like in your bank account. Is it what you want? Does it give you the lifestyle that you want? Does it support your family, your freedom, your travel, your bucket list? What is the things, what are those things that you need to be doing? And why are you trying to make cash? Why are you trying to scale? Is the cash you're making really supporting that lifestyle, that list of goals that you have, that bucket list? Yeah. What is it that you are trying to achieve? And is the cash that you're making helping you get there? And of course, if the answer is no, then you need to do some searching for the answer as to why not. Why am I not making the cash that I want to make? What's stopping me? What's getting in my way? And these questions, we have to be honest with ourselves, because yes, we show up on social media, looking all glossy, making it all look like every day is a party in business. But we know the reality is that it isn't. The reality is that every day in business is not a party. Every day in business has its challenges, has its bumps in the road. Yeah, but we have to stay true and aligned to our purpose. And ultimately, we're in business to support the lifestyle that we want. We have a gift to share. We have a lifestyle that we're looking to achieve. Am I making the cash that I want to support the lifestyle? And if not, why not? We have to be really true to ourselves with the way that we answer these questions. So write these questions down, put them somewhere visual, journal on them on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis. Really get comfortable with being your own coach. A good CEO can act as their own coach. Ask yourselves these coaching questions and really get true and clear with the answer. Okay, so that's it. That's my scale CEO mindset model and a couple of reflective questions for you. I wish you the absolute best at scaling up. Business is always a journey. It's never a destination, because whenever you get to the destination, there's always somewhere else that you want to go. But isn't it exciting? Good luck, and thanks for being here in this module with me.